It's easy to love a puppy. From the minute you bring this little ball of fluff to your home, he makes a place in your heart. And it's easy to teach a puppy. You have to be firm and consistent in your handling. Tell him what you want him to do, and then praise him for a job well done. I'm Betty White, and these are Seeing Eye puppy raisers, and the puppies that they love and teach and live with for about a year. Each of these puppies is born with a very special purpose, to be the eyes and the best friend for a blind person. But did you ever wonder how it all happens? Have you ever seen a seeing eye dog guide a blind person?
I think that it's amazing that so much responsibility can be put on the shoulders of a dog.
I grew up with the project. I can't remember a time that I didn't have a seeing eye puppy.
Did you ever wonder how these dogs got to be so good at what they do?
He'll be, well, for the most part, being the blind person's companion and his eyes. That's what we say. He's the blind person's eyes.
Watching them, you can see the dog's confidence and intelligence, as if they had total awareness of everything around them.
So much of what my daughters are experiencing, I experience right along with them. It's really a project that involves the entire family.
And the relationship they develop with their partners. These dogs sure know how to love.
These puppies give back to us far more than we lay out for them. It really is a selfless love.
One reason seeing eye dogs are so remarkable is they were raised properly. And they were raised, in part, by people like you. For about 14 months, seeing eye puppies live in regular homes with regular kids and parents as members of regular families. People like you. You play one of the most important roles of all in preparing these special puppies for their special future. Raising a seeing eye puppy is a personal experience. So let's hear personally from those who've done it. We asked longtime Puppy Club members John and Dave Chester and Laura Eschbach and Cindy Hunsberger to share with us everything they know about raising seeing eye puppies.
When a little puppy that's 6 weeks old arrives into your house, it's like having a new baby.
The day it arrives, everybody's like overwhelmed. They're all like, oh, we got a new puppy.
When your puppy arrives at your doorstep, he's as frisky as a puppy.
This is your new home. Let's go.
His world is totally new and he's pretty excitable. So it's up to you, as his new family, to reassure him that he's accepted and loved in his new home.
Myself and my brother and my mom all love dogs. We just had to convert him. And so
that was difficult.
I was just excited to hear that he was going to let us have a dog.
In those first few days and weeks, it's important to be gentle with your puppy. He wants to get to know you and trust you. That's the way they are.
If the bond's not created at first, and a good bond between the puppy and the family, then it gets really hard. The way we do it is we hold them a lot, we give them a lot of attention, just things that aren't real tough.
Help him to get used to your voice. Take the time to show him what you want him to do. He'll like that. And when he obeys, that's the time to give him lots of praise and affection, which is probably the most important part of all.
So we praise dogs and it makes them feel better, and they're more likely to do what we asked them to do again because they know that they're doing it right.
All too often, with the best intentions, people give their new puppy the run of the house. Then they wonder why they can't housebreak him.
Housebreaking is definitely a foundation step, because you can be teaching your dog sit and down and all these other commands, but if they're not housebroken, then you're always going to have to clean up after them. And it's just a thing that they should learn first.
For best results, you have to housebreak your puppy very soon after he arrives. The best way to do it is by confining him to a small area of the house, like your kitchen. Housebreaking a puppy is all about consistency.
Sit. Good girl.
Always take the puppy in and out the same door. In that way, he'll know just what's expected of him.
Come on, girl. Forward.
Take the puppy out on leash, telling him it's park time. Show him where you want him to empty, then take him to that same area each and every time.
Good girl.
For male puppies, make sure park time is an open area, as far away as possible from trees or shrubs. And for all puppies, avoid places where other dogs roam.
There's some responsibility that goes along with it that's pleasurable, and sometimes there's some things that aren't so pleasurable. There's lots of little accidents in the house in the beginning to be expected. It's a baby.
Giving your puppy lots of praise reinforces when and where you want him to empty. If your puppy is to have a future as a seeing eye dog, he must grow up strong and healthy. To help keep him that way, keep him clean.
We wash their ears, we brush them, clip their toenails, and give them baths. But I guess the most important one would be brushing.
One of the responsibilities is to brush them every single day. It takes away like the doggy odor.
When your puppy arrives, he'll already be used to eating 3 times a day. Keep your puppy on a regular eating schedule. Offer him food at the same time each day.
If they don't sit before they get their food, then they're real likely to just jump up. And if they're in with a blind person or whatever, and the blind person goes to feed them and they jump up, then that could cause problems.
Give him fresh water with his meals. And if he doesn't finish his meal in a half hour, remove his dish, throw away what's left over, and don't offer more until the next meal. Remember, no people food. And never leave his food down all day.
When we eat as a family, we try to keep our dogs on lead at the table with us, and we just go about eating, and if our dogs start to beg or whine or move, we have to restrain them from that.
Flirt is by my left side because that's the side that they're told to be on and they have to be on.
Whoever has the main responsibility for the puppy is the person who takes the puppy to sleep.
By my bed, we have like a square carpet kind of thing for him left over from ours. And you're supposed to put down the shower curtain underneath. It's just like for when they're puppies.
Having them on a bed chain when we're sleeping, they can't go anywhere, and so they're right basically there with us.
I take her out every night before I go to bed, and then I'll hook her to the bed chain. I'll say goodnight to her, and then that's basically it.
A blind person, when they go to sleep, is probably going to want to know where their dog is at all times.
For the first few nights, you may want to try sleeping in a sleeping bag on the floor next to him. The warmth of your body will make the pup feel comfortable. When you're raising a puppy for the seeing eye, you are expected to teach him good manners.
We try to discourage bad habits such as barking and jumping at an early age because they learn quicker.
This includes teaching the pup to stay off the furniture and teaching him to lie in place while the family has meals. You want to teach him to come when called.
Come.
And to sit and lie down when told.
Sit. Good girl. Okay.
And the way to do this is through the magical use of praise.
Flirt. Sit. Good girl.
Teach by using kindness. Teach by using repetition. Praise the puppy when he does the right thing. Punish only by tone of voice.
You should never hit your dog, like never with a rolled up newspaper or magazine, because that's not good at all.
Everything works together to produce the end product for this blind person. And if we're not consistent in the way we deal with the things, then it really confuses the dog, and the process just isn't as effective.
While raising your puppy, keep a record of your experiences with him. Write down things you do together. Note his development and his changes. Keep written track of anything that will make an interesting report on this project, all the while providing the seeing eye with insights into the dog's personality. Before you walk your pup in the neighborhood, he must have had all his inoculations. He must stay on your property until he's 13 weeks old, and only you and your family should pet him until then.
Yes, it's very important for them to get their shots. When you first get your puppy, they give you a health card, and it says when they have their shots, the dates that they're due to get them, and then as you go down and get the shots, you're supposed to fill it out, like your vet will fill it out.
It's important to take the pup to your veterinarian or one recommended by your puppy club leader. Pay close attention to your puppy's health while he's with you, and remember, call your veterinarian if you have any concerns.
Good. Let me hear you talk to those puppies.
Since 1942, the Seeing Eye Puppy Raising Project has worked closely with the 4-H program. It's been a tremendously successful partnership.
Come. Clipper, come. Clipper,
Take
come.
a step forward and he'll come
Clipper,
with you.
come.
There you go.
Clipper, sit. Clipper, sit. Good boy.
Okay, very good.
The puppy raising program was really started by the CNI because they found that puppies that were raised in a family setting made much better dog guides than puppies that were left in a kennel.
This is where you get the expert advice about how to train your puppy,
Okay, she's anticipating a command here.
and where your puppy gets the learning he needs.
When we have our puppy club meetings once a month, all the dogs in the club and all the members are mixed together, and that gives the dogs a chance to interact with other dogs, a lot of other dogs, which normally they won't get to do.
I've met a lot of great people there. I mean, some of my good friends come from that club, and it's just a great experience.
When we place a puppy with a family, we sit down with the family and we discuss everything there is to know about raising a puppy for us. We cover all their veterinary expenses, and the CNI also sends them a stipend quarterly, which helps defray the cost of feeding the puppy during the time they have them.
Exposure is one of the most important things the Seeing Eye wants you to do while you have them for that year of their life. For the first year of their life, it's basically the most important year they're going to have.
You've probably guessed by now that puppy training is really just preparation for exposure of your pup into the big wide world.
We encourage our young people when they have their puppies to take their puppies as many places as possible. And that's really important for the puppy because when it comes back to the CNI, it's then going to be able to automatically go out because it's had this kind of exposure.
Politely ask permission before you take your puppy into stores and onto buses and trains. When you leave, thank the people who let your pup have this valuable learning experience. Remember, he isn't a seeing eye dog yet, and you aren't a professional instructor, so your access to these places isn't guaranteed by law.
The most important things that we as puppy raisers can offer the dogs is experience, good manners, and just a lot of love.
Morris Frank, the first person to use a seeing eye dog, described the experience by saying, "It was glorious, just the dog and a leather strap linking me to life.
I'll halt.
The training and the repetition, the good moments and the tough moments, the praise and the love, are all about freedom.
It's a miracle is what it really is. And I think the kids, when they're teaching the dogs, they realize it, but it's only when they really see the person with the dog that they feel the awesomeness of the whole thing.
That awesomeness comes from the work you put in as a puppy raiser, preparing your puppy for the day he helps a blind person to become more independent. Just before he's matched with a blind person, you, your family, and a seeing eye instructor may watch from a distance as the pup you nurtured practices all the new skills he learned at the Seeing Eye, which is why the day of the town walk is so amazing.
Life isn't about just receiving. You have to become a giver, and this is the ultimate, raising a puppy for a year and then giving it away.
I think it has allowed the kids to have a sense of responsibility that maybe they didn't have before. It's allowed them to learn to love something and then be able to part with that as they grow through the experience.
It's pretty cool watching your dog do these things, like stop at the corner. It seems like they know so much. And you look at it and say, I had him when he was just this big. Look at him now. It's really neat.
Raising a seeing eye puppy helps others. That's why puppy raisers feel so good about what they do.
It's amazing. I mean, like, they teach them to stop when a car's coming around the corner.
They're definitely different than other puppies just because they have a purpose in life, and that's to be the eyes and the freedom for blind people.
One good thing about being a blind person and learning, I learned so much love from my dogs, and it's made me a better person. It's made me able to understand how to give love in a more unrestricted way. And maybe that's what was meant to be. Yeah, I really have learned so much from my dogs.
They all have shared in this amazing experience, which makes everyone involved with it feel very special.
This teaches them how to love and say goodbye and still carry something very special with them for the rest of their life.
It's not that these people are different from anyone else. They're people like you, except that they've raised a seeing eye puppy.
Seeing eye puppy raisers and their families, people like you, share a richly rewarding experience. Each year, they help hundreds of blind people all across the United States and Canada find independence and dignity and self-confidence with seeing eye dogs at their sides. For them and for everyone at the Seeing Eye, thank you for opening your home and your heart to this extraordinary program.